everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been forever, but I'm happy to be back, and I have several things planned for you guys for videos. I just, it took like a long hiatus, but today I wanted to show you some things that I've been up to, and one of those things include my garden. I've expanded my garden, and we had a pretty prolific year so far in terms of being able to harvest a lot of goodies, and so I'm really excited to show you guys. So yeah, I was going to take you through a garden tour first and then tell you about a few things that are going to be coming up for us and what you can expect from future videos. So let's go take a look at the garden. Okay, so I'll just start here. So right here we actually have our carrots, and we've been harvesting them. This plant keeps coming back. It's like a weird honey type plant. Keeps getting my way. But for now we're letting it grow. Carrots we've already harvested probably about half. I have a carrot that's gone to seed, and then some wild daisies. We use strawberries in buckets. And then we do have some trees out here in buckets as well. This one's a cherry tree. Oop, there we go, cherry tree. And that one's a cherry tree also. And those are the two we got from our local urban store. And we got exactly one cherry off of here. So, but that's to be expected because it was transplanted. This was an apple tree that was gifted to me. I think it's actually gonna go find a new home with a neighbor though. So I have trees in the back, and then this thing, I don't know what to do with this thing. It was a plum tree. I was told it was a cherry. Definitely is not a cherry. It got these really sad looking fruits on them that are good, but as you can see, the leaves, it needs some help. It needs some amendments. So serious amendments. So, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, you can tell I did not clean up. I had to chop the zucchini bush massively yesterday because, here, do you want to eat this? If not, you can give it to your sister. In this bed, so I can back you up a little bit. In this bed, so originally we had this bed, that middle one, and the far one, and that was it. So, but last summer, in preparation for this year, which is good because the price of wood ended up going up exponentially, we built the corn beds. And it's actually 3 boxes. So it's one long box, and then in the center we've kind of marked it off for, I call it our bee box because it has a lot of flowers in it for the bees. Okay, so back to the first box. I have garlic and onions in here. I think the red ones, nope, yellow ones are up there. The red ones are down here. They are kind of trampled, as you can see, because this zucchini plant that completely laid across. And I'll show some pictures of the zucchini we ended up getting off of it. One was over 9 pounds. It's kind of ridiculous. But I went on vacation, and we had somebody watering, and they did a fantastic job, and I didn't realize that there was a huge zucchini in there. So, but anyways, you can see we have like some wild daisy, and I actually got a garlic scape. I didn't think I was going to. These are delicious. These little guys here. So this is elephant garlic right here where I planted. It's kind of an experiment. I've never grown garlic before. I've grown onions one time and it didn't do that great. So we're just kind of seeing what's going on. So yeah, so that's kind of it for this garden on that side. And then this is the zucchini. As you can see, I've trimmed a ton of it off. I've probably trimmed like 30, 40 leaves off of this thing total. But yeah, it actually produced really well. But now I have these taking over, and these are the lemon cucumbers, which I think I'm going to cut all this back. I think it's done producing. I'm just going to chop it all back and let the cucumbers take over because, which I will show you a picture of, they produced a ton of lemon cucumbers over this last week and a half or so. They're trailing. They're just everywhere. I have one that's going up here, and it did support the lemon cucumbers really well. As you can see, it's like just continuing to grow. So I might just chop this guy back to maybe like right here. That way it stops growing, and then just let the rest of these grow. Yeah, so I did just pick this little guy I found before my camera decided to just up and quit on me for fun. And then this guy's a little pale. I'm gonna let him continue. Yeah, these things are crazy. I bought them as like 3 little tiny plants like that, and they are now monsters. They're also going off over there. Let's see. Alright, let's do box 2. Oh, there's my sweet potatoes. I don't know how well they're doing, so I guess we'll find out when the season ends. They might just go through fall though. So this is a tomato. I know you're supposed to trim them, but I, as an experiment, threw 4 random tomato plants really close together. Just experiment what they would do in a box, since I've never grown them in a box, only in buckets before. And they're insane. I really like them. And they're actually producing a lot too. So, we had really bizarre weather. It was really cold and really hot, and now it's just kind of weird, but got a lot in there. Lots of clusters. A bunch of peppers I never thought would actually grow because they stayed about this small forever after I transplanted them. And I'm actually getting several little babies. They're all in there. They're growing. I companion plants, so I've got some lemon balm down there. I had some mint, or yeah, peppermint right there. And it's just to keep the deer away because our yard is really open and we get a lot of deer. This is the calendula that I had to cut half of it back because it was choking my tomato plant. And now that I did that, the tomato plant is choking everything else. As you can see, I was gone for a week and a half. That's what happened. It's not even a path anymore. It's just a jungle. But it's just all an experiment, and it's fun to watch, and I really like the green, so I'm not mad. So this is our bee box. Directly across from it. It's in between the corn, and I have a ton of sunflowers. Okay, so this box right here, well, this had sweet peas growing like this. But we harvested all those and they're done for the season. This is my Echinacea. It was dying in its little pot, so I put it in here. Now it's got a bunch of new growth. We've got dill that likes to come back every year. Chamomile, again, it was dying, but now it's got a bunch of new growth on it over there. So it's doing better. Some of these, I don't know if they're going to do well because they're so close. This is cantaloupe and watermelon, and you'll see these melons. You'll see them all throughout the corn because they're really good at keeping weeds out, and then the corn provides protection and shade. So I really like to companion garden. Okay, well, here's my other zucchini plant. These are the pulsas that I made out of like an old crib side, and they just kind of help keep things up. But I do need to trim this thing again. There's my other little zucchini. I already got a 2-pound one off this one. It was kind of an odd looking one. And then got calendula over here, which is the original bed it started. And I will harvest these. I just pluck the heads off, and then I dry them out, and I keep them for tea and salt, like salves. And so I will cut. I constantly cut these things back, but they regrow. So it's like you can really mess that up. And these are all the tomatoes in pots, and you'll see these are not, they're producing tomatoes. I've already harvested off of this one. These are sun golds, but you'll see that they're not they don't like their plants don't look as good, even though I amended and all that stuff. And I use cages for these. I might end up getting rid of all my cages and just doing spirals because they're a lot better. But let me see. Oh, here's some. There's a bunch of them in here that are bigger, if you can see. But as soon as they start getting a little bit of red, I'm probably going to pull them out onto the counter and let them ripen there, because this plant was starting to get some splits in some of them. We've got more in here. So they're growing. They're just slow. They're not as good. I don't know that I'll grow them in pots anymore. I'll probably just pick a bed. And then this is my corn beds. So, as you can see, all sorts of stuff. So like this is one of the plants. I think it's pumpkin. Nope, it's a watermelon plant. So these are the second round of corn that I have. It's a lot shorter of a variety than these ones over here. You can see it's like taller than my house. So I've got a bunch of marigolds in there to keep bugs away, which I've had zero issues with bugs. Just bees coming in. Oh, look, I've got a... Whoops, as I break a branch. I've got a little guy over there. I think that's a... Oh, it's a cantaloupe. I think. I don't know, guys. Sometimes it's hard to tell in here. Like, these are cantaloupe too. But anyway, this guy I had to cut back, so I probably, again, won't do them in pots. But I had started my pumpkins in pots and had tossed them over so they could get some shoots down for extra moisture. Some of them do really well. This is the west side of the garden. This fried, essentially. And then this is my bee box. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. My camera keeps shutting off on my phone. It's getting on my nerves. Yeah, that's okay. Probably because I have it like too high resolution or whatever. Need to find my camera. So it's really cool. So these are my biggest ones. They're huge. Go to above the house. And then those are the little ones. They're both sweet varieties, but I got two different kind to try them out. And then like this is an example of the pumpkins that I have. I had them in a bucket that were doing well, and then I put them into here to get more moisture and a little bit more shade and stuff. But like, that guy died. Yeah, I don't know. It's an experiment. So I wanted to show you this thing about the corn. So it always amazes me like how strong and sturdy they are, even with all these ears on them, because it gets really heavy. But at first I kind of freaked out because I thought, if the roots are showing, kind of like in a tree, they're not getting enough water. But that's not the case. They do levels of roots to make it sturdier. So there's roots underneath, and then it has this second thing of roots right here to stabilize it more. And as the bigger and heavier it gets, it has more of these little like stabilizing root things that will shoot off in there, and they just kind of keep growing up. And the bigger the plant, the heavier the plant, they will do that because they're smart like that. I love that. Let's see. Oh, yep, see, this is the guy that's died. So I don't know if he'll get any bigger. It's really sad. But we'll see. I have another one over there that's doing, I don't know if you can see it. He's right in there. He's doing really good. And that's off the plant that's doing well. So, I want to show you the front side of the bee box, because I'm in love with all these sunflowers. They're amazing. These are the bachelor buttons. Oh, that's another sunflower I didn't realize I had. That will get huge. This guy is a mammoth sunflower. Wild daisies. As you can see, my path has been obstructed, but I kind of don't care. I love it. So anyway, I'm gonna pan you out here to the garden. So carrots and stuff. I think actually I'm gonna convince my husband we need to expand. Yeah, why not? We'll do more. So that's the corn. It's the back row. Give some nice privacy. Hey cat, kitty cats. And then this is the front boxes. Okay, so back inside, I wanted to show you the zucchini I harvested. It's a little bit crazy. Hello. You say hello? Pretty boy. That's Squishy. He's a really good cat. It's my husband's cat. He likes him best. Let me flip you guys around. They are freaking huge. This one is like 9.2 pounds. This guy was 5.8, I think. 4.2, 1.8, so about 2 pounds. This guy had like a little twin growing on top of him. I don't know what's going on. So these little teeth marks right here would be because my cats really, really like zucchini for some bizarre reason. These are some of the paler ones that I harvested that maybe I shouldn't have, but they did have some greens. I'm going to let them ripen on the counter. I have a bunch of other ones, about a dozen that I had just harvested these. So I've heard that if you let them get to like a deep yellow, it'll be a little more bitter. They're not going to be as sweet. But I just have a ton of them. And we already busted into one, and it's really good. It's really sweet. Let's see, I wanted to show you guys my back garden. I do have a bunch of stuff growing in the back as well. Not quite as much stuff as in the front, but we're going to go take a look anyway. Oh, it's bright. Let's prepare. There we are. Okay, this is an apple tree. That is an apple tree. That one's getting more fruit than this one. This one's big and pretty. Honestly, I don't remember. So I think this one's the Gala. And that one's the Fuji. Sounds about right. They're semi-dwarfs. Got them a few years ago. They've produced one other time. Last year they didn't produce because I did some major maintenance on them that I wasn't doing properly. Like, they're getting good size. I'm very happy with them. This year I took care of them. I pruned them way back. Did a second prune. Fertilized when I was supposed to. Extra water. I did all the things I was supposed to. And guess what? Getting lots of apples. So, it's like I said. I keep saying it's all an experiment because it seriously is. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But I have fun doing it. So, lots of apples. Really pretty. This is my Thornless Raspberry. So all the stuff that looks kind of dead was all the stuff I was able to harvest off of. We got dozens and dozens of raspberries that were so good. This is all the new growth that has been happening this summer. They reproduce by themselves. They'll just keep doing it. And it's going to fill in here, and then I'll take some and I'll move it over and I'll just make a big bush out of it. Big spot. Our poor thing is falling down. We have this as a temporary privacy when we had really weird neighbors before our awesome neighbor that we have now. And we put these up all the way down. They're not really growing. I'm actually going to rip them out and give them away because this is all going to be berry bushes and medicinal herbs. They're good at companion planting together. And I'm going to build a whole forest of them right here. Things like marshmallow root grow extremely fast. And we'll get privacy probably better than those. And they're edible. I can use them. This is it's at the end of the season now, but this is my daisy bush. Comes back every year. I never need to do anything to it, prune it, anything. It just does its thing. The last thing I'm going to show you for my garden tour, probably one of my favorite things my husband has ever built me. And it's a disaster right now, and I feel really bad that it's a disaster. I need to completely redo it. This thing, my beautiful greenhouse, is my favorite thing ever. I'm in here a lot in the late winter and the spring. And well, I'll just give you a little tour of it even though it's a disaster. Flip you around. Oh, first I have herbs. They don't get very big as you can see because that's lemon balm that has gone to seed. I have a random dill plant in my calendula bucket. My rosemary is doing amazing. I'm going to clip it all back. That's valerian that's gone to seed. I need to harvest some of the stuff. Even though it's kind of bitter, I still use it for medicinal purposes, so it's fine. I have skullcap. Great for sleep. Don't give to kids. Catnip. My cats love it, but it just grows back faster than they can eat it, so it's fine. This guy is my stinging nettle, which I had no idea that all these herbs got flowers like this. Beautiful. And they'll just come back next year. I don't have to do anything. My mullein, he got really tall and skinny because he wasn't in the ground. Did this little flowering thing. You can see it right here. I have some sage back there. Did I show you my arnica? I don't remember, guys. Sorry if it's a repeat. Arnica. So none of this stuff does amazing because it's not in the ground. So all that stuff's going where I showed you. So this is the greenhouse. My daughter made me some sun catchers. Got my little bells here. But right now it's just kind of a disaster. It's a bunch of storage stuff. So my husband built me these built-ins here. These actually, those in the center and all these come off because I have tomatoes to extend the life if we have a summer that cut short like last year. And I continue to get tomatoes for like the next month. So it's all built-in frame. It's built in here. And he did all this custom. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. I have lots of space in here. And for the most part, I don't get any weeds. Just one or two every once in a while. And then I have my little vents. So yeah, this place is not in the summer because it's freaking hot. This is like my little haven. Can I back this camera up a little bit? Let me see. So it's my mommy office. So I guess that's it. Let's go sit in the shade. I'll tell you a few things that are coming up. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm going to try and trim it down a little. Okay. Oh, nice and shady. I cannot tolerate the heat at all, like at all. So I have a bunch of videos planned. I want to do a lot of gardening videos. I'm a beginner. This is probably my 4th year gardening. I still consider myself a beginner. I'm still experimenting with things. My plan is to make as much permaculture, food garden, food forest as I can at my house. It's relaxing. I enjoy it. It's a challenge. It's beautiful. It's functional. You know, we eat a lot of things out of the garden. I forgot to mention I harvested a bunch of spinach and butterhead and like variegated romaine, different varieties already earlier in the season that we ate all of. And it's just, I don't know, it's something to be said about growing your own food. You appreciate it more, I guess. And it tastes delicious. It tastes way better than supermarket. Yeah, so some things. So we have back to school season coming up in about 5 weeks. My kids start school. And we homeschool. This year's gonna be a little bit different. And so I'll talk about our plans for that. And I have some capsule wardrobe stuff coming up, which I think I mentioned in my last video. That would be my next video 8 months ago. Didn't happen, but it's gonna happen. It's happening. Yeah, so I guess that's it for this video. I'm gonna let you guys go so it's not too crazy long, and let me know what your favorite things to grow are. What are you growing in your garden right now? What zone are you in? I'm in 8A. Western Washington, and we have a great growing season, and I'm really curious as to where you guys are from and what it is that you guys are growing. And then if you have any questions, put it down in the comments below, and consider subscribing. I would love if you would stick around and come back to enjoy more videos. All right, well, I will talk to you guys later in the next video. Bye.